Is your blood pressure really high, or perhaps you've been measuring it all wrong? Let's talk about why accurate blood pressure measurements are so vital. Imagine this. You've just finished a routine checkup and your doctor tells you that your blood pressure is too high. You're shocked. You feel fine, but the numbers say otherwise. So you start taking medication, or maybe you alter your lifestyle drastically. But what if I told you that there's a chance your blood pressure was measured incorrectly? Misreadings can lead to misdiagnoses, unnecessary medication, or worse, they might overlook a serious health issue. It's a bit like using a faulty speedometer. If it's not accurate, you might get a speeding ticket when you thought you were under the limit, or you could be driving too slowly, causing traffic and frustration. So, it's crucial to get it right. But how do you ensure an accurate measurement? Let's dive in. Before we dive into the correct way to measure your blood pressure, it's important to understand what it is. Picture this. Your heart is like a pump, and your arteries are the pipes. Blood pressure is simply the force exerted by your blood against the walls of your arteries as your heart pumps. This force is essential for blood to reach every corner of your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients. There are two parts to a blood pressure reading: systolic and diastolic pressure. Systolic pressure, the top number, measures the force your heart exerts on the artery walls when it beats. Diastolic pressure, the bottom number, measures the force when your heart is at rest between beats. Healthy blood pressure is generally considered to be around 120/80. However, what's considered healthy can vary depending on numerous factors, including age and overall health. Now that we understand what blood pressure is, we can move on to how to measure it correctly. Proper preparation is key to an accurate blood pressure measurement. And so, let's delve into the essential steps you need to take, ensuring you're well prepared for an accurate reading. Firstly, it's crucial to avoid certain factors that could potentially elevate your blood pressure. This includes caffeine, nicotine, and exercise. So before taking a measurement, make sure to sidestep that morning cup of coffee, hold off on that brisk walk, and refrain from smoking. You want to give your body a chance to be in its natural resting state. Next, it's important that you're comfortable. This means wearing loose-fitting clothing around your arm so the blood pressure cuff can fit properly. It also means emptying your bladder, as a full bladder can affect the reading. Now, once you're settled in a comfortable, quiet environment, it's time to relax. Rest for at least 5 minutes before taking the measurement. This resting period is crucial because it allows your heartbeat to reach its baseline level, providing a more accurate reading. Be mindful of your emotional state as well. Stress or anxiety can cause your blood pressure to spike. So try to find a calm space, both physically and mentally. You may find it helpful to practice a few minutes of deep breathing or mindfulness to help your body and mind relax. And remember, consistency is key. Try to take measurements at the same time each day. Our bodies naturally have a rhythm, and blood pressure can fluctuate throughout the day. By taking measurements at the same time, you can better track changes and identify any patterns. Lastly, it's best to avoid taking a measurement over a full stomach. After eating, our bodies are busy digesting food, which can cause a temporary increase in blood pressure. So aim to measure your blood pressure before meals or wait at least 1 hour after eating. In summary, preparation for an accurate blood pressure reading involves avoiding certain factors like caffeine, nicotine, and exercise. It requires resting, being comfortable, and managing stress. And it's about timing, when you measure and what state your body is in. With the right preparation, you're ready to take your blood pressure measurement. So let's move on to the next step: positioning. Position matters when it comes to measuring blood pressure. This isn't a mere saying, it's a medical fact. When you're about to take a reading, your posture can significantly influence the results. So let's dive into the correct positioning to ensure you're getting the most accurate reading possible. Firstly, it's important to sit with your back straight and supported. This isn't just good for your posture, it's crucial for an accurate blood pressure reading. You see, when your back is aligned, your blood can flow more freely and your heart doesn't need to work as hard. This can help to prevent artificially high readings caused by the additional strain on your heart. Next, you want to make sure your feet are flat on the floor. This grounds your body and helps to stabilize your heart rate. If your feet are dangling or crossed, it could cause your blood pressure to rise, skewing the results. This is why it's best to sit in a chair with a firm back and your feet resting comfortably on the ground. Now let's talk about your arm. It should be supported at heart level. You might be wondering why this is necessary. Well, when your arm is at heart level, it's easier for the blood to flow to and from your heart. If your arm is lower or higher than your heart, your heart has to work harder to pump blood, which can lead to inaccurate readings. Lastly, make sure your arm is relaxed and not tensed. Tensing your arm can constrict your blood vessels, causing your blood pressure to rise. So, let your arm rest comfortably on a flat surface and avoid tensing your muscles. Remember, these are not just suggestions, but proven methods that can help you get a more accurate blood pressure reading. So take the time to position yourself correctly. It might seem like a lot of steps, but each one plays a vital role in ensuring the accuracy of your results. With the right positioning, you're set to get an accurate reading. So let's move on to the next step, taking the reading. Now, it's time to take the actual reading. First things first, it's crucial that you place the cuff correctly. Position the cuff on your upper arm, ensuring it's snug but not too tight. The bottom edge of the cuff should be 1 inch above the bend of your elbow. Make sure you're relaxed and your arm is at heart level. Now, let's move on to inflating the cuff. If you're using a manual monitor, squeeze the bulb until the gauge reads about 30 points above your expected systolic pressure. If you're unsure of your expected pressure, inflate the cuff to about 180. If you're using a digital monitor, simply press the start button and the cuff will inflate automatically. As the cuff inflates, you'll feel a tight squeeze. It's important to stay calm and relaxed during this process. Breathe normally and avoid talking. Next up is reading the numbers. If you're using a manual monitor, you'll need to listen carefully with a stethoscope. As soon as the cuff begins to deflate, you'll hear your heartbeat. The first beat you hear is your systolic pressure. As the cuff continues to deflate, keep listening. When you no longer hear your heartbeat, that's your diastolic pressure. If you're using a digital monitor, the machine will do the work for you. Once the cuff is fully deflated, your blood pressure will be displayed on the screen. The top number is your systolic pressure and the bottom number is your diastolic pressure. Now, you might be wondering if you should take multiple readings. The answer is yes. It's recommended to take at least 2 readings, 1 to 2 minutes apart. Record all readings, including the date and time. This will provide a more comprehensive picture of your blood pressure. By following these steps, you can get an accurate blood pressure reading. Remember, accurate readings are not only important for diagnosing hypertension, but also for managing it effectively. You're now well equipped to take your own blood pressure. Knowledge is power, and you've just empowered yourself. Even with the best intentions, mistakes can happen. And when it comes to measuring blood pressure, these mistakes can lead to inaccurate readings, which can impact your health. One of the most common errors is using the wrong cuff size. The cuff size is crucial because it needs to wrap around your arm snugly. If it's too tight, it can give a higher reading, and if it's too loose, it can give a lower reading. So always ensure you're using the right-sized cuff for your arm. Another common mistake is not positioning the cuff correctly. The cuff should be placed on your upper arm with the lower edge 1 inch above the bend of your elbow. If it's placed too high or too low, it can lead to a skewed reading. So, make sure to position your cuff correctly. Taking the reading too soon after eating or exercising is another common error. These activities can temporarily elevate your blood pressure, leading to a higher than normal reading. Therefore, it's best to wait at least 30 minutes after eating or exercising before taking your blood pressure. Now, let's recap the key points about correct blood pressure measurement. First, prepare yourself by avoiding caffeine, exercise, and stress for at least 30 minutes before taking the reading. Second, position yourself correctly. Sit upright with your back supported, feet flat on the floor, and arms supported at heart level. Third, take multiple readings. Single readings can be misleading, so take at least 2 or 3 readings, 1 minute apart. And finally, record your readings, noting the date, time, and any special circumstances like stress or meals. Remember, knowing your accurate blood pressure is crucial for your health, so measure it correctly and stay healthy.